In the last sessions, we covered, sir, what is the need of version control systems? What the need of version control systems we covered. Next, how version control system works. Yes, how it is going to work. There is a repository concept, working directory concept. Okay, like how version control system works. Okay. Next, basic terminology of version control system we covered. Something like a commit, checkout, repository, working directory, like we covered. Next, benefits of version control system. What are various benefits are there, sir? Like we discussed about that. Next, and after that, even we had a discussion about types of version control systems. How many types of version control systems are there? You have to tell. Can you please confirm? How many types of version control systems are there? Two. What is the first category, sir? What is the first category? The first category itself is, sir, do you know, centralized. What is the first one? Centralized. Even the second one is distributed model. Okay, distributed, right? Sir, next, we covered very clearly what is the difference between centralized and distributed, right? Sir, in the centralized model, model, what will happen? Yes, we covered already. In the centralized model, what will happen is, now if you observe that, just have a look once. We covered in detail in the last session anyway, right? Sir, in the centralized model, okay, a single repository will be there. This repository will be shared by all the developers. Okay, remember this one, all the developers, right? Developers are required to perform commit, checkout, everything is related to this central repository. So n number of problems are there with this central repository server. What is the problem is, sir, total code is available in the central repository, right? If something goes wrong, something happened to this machine, then automatically, sir, recover is very difficult. Remember, it is a single point of failure. By mistake, if the server got crashed, then automatically it is not possible to recover. Very difficult to recover, right? Okay, like next, commit and checkout operations should be performed on central repository. Over the network, performance is going to be down. Next, and after that, compulsory the client developers workspace should be connected to the central repository always. Okay, like multiple problems are there with this approach. Okay, we covered in detail in the last sessions. Don't worry at all. If you want, you can refer the previous video. Next, to overcome these limitations, we should go for what? Okay, distributed version control system. Okay, in the distributed version control system, the beauty is every developer's workspace having the repository. Have you observed, right? Yes, this is the repository. Every developer's workspace having the repository, right? Sir, all commit operations and all checkout operations will be performed locally. Okay, locally, so performance is going to be improved. Next, network outage is there, still no problem at all, still developer can continue his work. Next, and after that, even, do you know, here there is no question of single point of failure. You people aware already this terminology, right? Next, in the distributed model, we can maintain one repository just for code sharing purpose. Okay, that model itself is nothing but distributed with the remote repository model. Okay, even we have remote repository, don't feel that it is the central repository, just it is the bare repository only. What the, sir, it is just it is a bare repository just to share the code, that's all. Just to share the code, that's all. This is the remote repository, right? But all local, all commit operation and checkout operation, where it will be performed, sir? In the local repository only. If any developer want to share his work, then only he will push his work to the remote repository. Okay, like, sir, have you remembered, right? All these things we covered very clearly in the last videos or last sessions. Any doubt about up to this, right? Can you please spell out? Okay, Yes, I hope it's a very clear for you people, right? Okay, like now the next thing what I have to discuss is sir, the tool I have to discuss about okay, Git. This is the most commonly used sir version control tool in the DevOps. Sir, being DevOps engineer, compulsory the first tool what you have to aware is the Git. Remember this one, sir. Okay, the first tool what you should aware is the Git, right? Okay, sir, it's a very simple. Git is sir, up to this, can I use the word Git is distributed version control system tool or not? Can you please confirm? Git is distributed, okay, distributed version control system tool. Can I use the word this version control system tool? Version control system tool, like, sir, what is the Git is a distributed version control system tool. Yes, correct or not? Yes, Git, sir, based on which architecture it is, this tool is developed, sir? It is based on distributed version control system model. Okay, like, sir, centralized, can you please tell any examples for centralized version control system? Respond. SVN. Yes, correct. SVN. Next and after that CVS is there. CVS. Next and after that purpose. Okay. Purpose. Okay. TFS, etc. Okay. Can you give an example for distributed version control systems? Yes, Git. Git is the best example for that. Git is there. Next and after that, have you remembered Mercurial? Next, sir, fossil. Okay, like fossils. Okay, like fossil. Like it is also like, sir, now Git itself a distributed version control system tool. Remember a bit carefully, right? Sir, now my question is, yes, observe very carefully, sir. Sir, do you aware the word Linux? Respond. Have you aware the word Linux? Why suddenly Linux came into the picture is, okay, I hope you people aware Linux. Sir, why the word Linux? What is this Linux, sir? It is, respond. It is, why you are waiting? It is operating system. It is operating system. Correct, right? It is the Linux operating system, like. But strictly speaking, Linux is not operating system. It is not operating system. Remember this one. It is not an operating system. Okay, it is just a kernel. Remember that. It is just a kernel. Okay, it is just a kernel, sir. The kernel, which is the part of our operating system, okay, is just it is. So the operating system name is actually GNU. Okay, GNU is the operating system name. So in the GNU, the kernel what they use is Linux. That's why the word GNU Linux, sir, this is the operating system name. Remember this one, sir. But actually, strictly speaking, Linux is nothing but it is just a kernel name. Next, why the word? Okay, why the word Linux? Anyone, can you please tell why the word Linux? Yes, because there is a small link is there with our Git. That's why I'm covering this point. Anyone, can you please tell why the word, sir, Linux? Remember that? Yes, the word Linux is, yes, this kernel developed by, okay, Linus Torvald. Okay, Linus Torvalds. Remember this one. Who developed this Linux kernel? Linus Torvalds. He is a Finnish scientist, right? Okay, Finland, sir. Finnish software engineer. Okay, Finnish software engineer. Yeah. So this person developed Linux kernel. Okay, Linux kernel based on his name. The name Linux came. Then immediately you ask, sir, why Linux? Directly they can keep Linux, like, okay. Most of the operating system names at that time, Unix based operating system names ends with X. HP, AIX. Have you remembered HP, AIX, Unix, like most of the operating system names ends with X. That's why the word instead of Linux, okay, replaced this S with the X word. Okay, remember, sir, this is just why I'm telling all this story is, sir, where is the proof? Just a matter of 1 minute. The people who are very much interested, just have a look once. Otherwise, you can ignore. No problem at all, sir. Sir, here Ubuntu. Of course, it is the GNU based system only. Okay, like now have a look once, sir. Here I'm taking. If you want to know system information, okay, your name is the command. Okay, your name is the command, sir. Now observe that. You name, now listen carefully. You name hyphen kernel name. You name hyphen kernel name. Hey, operating system, what is your kernel name? What is your kernel name? Now it is going to tell Linux. Linux is the kernel name. Now if I use you name hyphen operating system name. Operating system name. Okay, then what is the operating system name, sir? GNU Linux. Okay, remember this one, GNU Linux. Sir, GNU is a project which is initiated to develop a Unix based operating system. Everything they developed except a kernel. Okay, that kernel who contributed, sir? That kernel who contributed? GNU itself is the project which is responsible, okay, to develop Unix like operating system. Okay, GNU means sir, GNU not Unix. That is the abbreviation, sir. GNU means GNU not Unix. Okay, Unix based operating system they want to develop. Okay, their project is started, but they developed everything but except a kernel. That the kernel who contributed, sir, this person is contributed. That's why, right? Okay, but anyway, all this just for your interest sake. But here only one point you people should aware. What is that point? Is this Git is also developed by, okay, Linus Torvalds. Remember this one, sir. Git is also developed by who developed this one, sir? The same person. Okay, Linus Torvalds. Okay, this person developed Git. Just you people should aware. Sir, up to this, any doubt about this? Can you please observe carefully? There are two important points. Very important, sir. Only 2 points I cover. What is Git? What is the Git? Sir, it is the version control system tool. Sir, is it centralized or distributed model? It is a distributed version control system tool. Okay. Next, Git is developed by who developed this Git, sir? Git is developed by Linus Torvalds. Any doubt? Up to these 2 points, can you please confirm? Any doubt about this? Okay. Next, these days, if any person is asking, sir, version control system, everyone hand is always going for Git only. Remember that, sir. All DevOps engineers, so they are always going to prefer Git as version control system tool. Remember, right? So it's a very popular. Why this Git is very popular, sir? What are various features are there? Why the Git is very popular? Features, just because of features of the Git. Remember a bit very carefully about this, right? So why Git is very popular? Why Git is very popular? Can you please tell the reasons? Okay, can you please tell the reasons? The reasons are features of Git. Remember a bit carefully. So the first biggest feature of Git is distributed. Sir, I hope you people can aware, not required to give much explanation. Sir, Git, why it's a very popular? Because it's based on the distributed model. Once it is distributed, can you please spell out what are various advantages we are going to get? Please confirm. Once it is a distributed Git, distributed version control system, can you please tell what are various advantages? Okay, advantages. No single point of failure. No single point of failure. Correct or not? Yes, correct or not? No single point of failure. What is the reason for that? What is the reason for that? Okay, because every developer has a local repository. Every developer has a local repository. That's why there is no even, sir, if you observe the diagram, just here, if you observe that, sir, by mistake, assume that this remote repository gone. Assume that by mistake this remote repository gone, sir, gone, no problem. Array, here local repository is there, here local repository is there, here local repository is there. By using somewhere you can get it. There is no question of single point of failure. Remember, this is the biggest thing. Second advantage is, okay, well, sir, all commit and checkout operations are performing. Where, sir? Please confirm. Checkout and commit operations are performing locally or not? Yes, locally, not remotely. That's why performance is more. Performance is more. The operations we can perform very speedily. Speed is more. Remember that. Okay, we covered already all these things in the last. Just list out the things, right? Beyond that, nothing. Next, sir, any other? Okay, developers workspace need not be connected with the remote repository always. Even without network also, developer can continue his work. Correct or not? Yes, friend. Developer can continue his work or not? Okay, sir, here just without okay, network also, developer can continue his work. Developer can continue his work, no problem at all. Okay, developer can continue his work itself is possible, sir. So means developers workspace under remote repository need not be connected always. Remember, this is the very, very important point. Okay, like sir, there are multiple advantages are there. Okay, because of this distributed. I hope you know all these things, right? Any doubt about this? So why Git is very popular? Can you please spell out some reasons? Can you please spell out some reasons? Some reasons like then immediately. Can you please spell out some reasons? Yes, happily. So first reason you can highlight is distributed. Okay, like sir, this is already we are covering from the last discussion only. These points are not new. But second point I want to talk, very, very important point, sir. Okay, like sir, one Manish is asking a small doubt. Okay, what is his doubt is regarding distributed model, it seems. Yes, what is his doubt is, sir, if a remote repository confirm up to this related to these 4 areas, is it clear for you people, right? Okay, well, now the next here legend. Sir, assume that I created a file. Okay, in the working directory, I created one file, sir. Assume that I created a file. Okay, sir, multiple files I created. Assume, sir, multiple files I created. I worked, sir. Now I have to commit these changes to my local repository, sir, because I developed 3 files, sir. To meet client requirement, I have to, sir, I have to commit these changes to my local repository. Can you please tell first what thing we have to do? Please guide. What is the first what I have to take? What I have to do, sir? So the first thing is respond. You have to tell. Already we covered. First we have to add these files to staging area. Remember that. So, sir, new files will be created where? Usually new files will be created in working directory. Once work completed, we have to add these files to staging area. Okay, we require to add these files to which area, sir? Staging area. For this we have to use, sir, first command. You should aware. We have to use git add command. Remember this one. Can you please spell out which command we are using, sir? Git add command. Remember very carefully, sir. If I use git add command, now the files will be moved. The files will be added to staging area. Very, very important, sir. This basic flow. So then you people can feel more comfortable. Just take special care about this one, sir. What is the command? I forgot. Please, you have to tell. What is the command we require to use? Please guide. Git yard. That's all. Git yard command we require to use to move our files to staging area. If you want to commit your files, sir, what we have to take care? First, we have to yard these files to staging area. Now the files are available where? Please confirm. Now the files are available where? Available where? In staging area. Okay, like now take very special care, sir. Sir, okay, I want to commit. Sir. So if you want to commit, now observe this, sir. So git yard, what this command is going to do? Sending files from working directory to staging area. Now I have to, sir, send the files from staging area to local repository. This is about my next work. Okay, this is my next work. If you want to do this work, which command we have to use, sir? Okay, git commit. Remember this one. What is the command we require to use? Git commit. These words are very important, sir. Git commit. We require to use git commit. Do you know, sir? Git commit. What it will do? Staged changes will be moved to. Staged changes will be moved to local repository. Remember. Any doubt? Total 4 areas I covered: working directory, staging area, local repository, remote repository. Next, git yard command means the files from git is the part of the command. Correct. Normal. You have to use git yard, git commit. Like you should not use only yard or commit. Git yard is a full command. We have to use git yard, okay, to move the files from working directory to staging area. Next, whatever changes are there in the staging area, to commit to those changes, we require to use which ones are git commit. Wow. Up to this, any doubt? Slowly, you people are learning git commands. Up to this, any doubt? Clear, right? Okay, well. Is there any copy of the file after 1 minute? Someone is asking the doubt. Who is this? Someone is asking. Is there any copy of the files after git commit in the staging area? Usually won't be there. Viraj, won't be there. Okay. Yes. Here or otherwise may be available. No problem at all. Because any new changes are there, those changes only will be committed. Okay, so all changes are committed or not. That's what. Even the files are there, Git is always going to check. Is the same? Is it available in the local repository or not? Like, then immediately Manish is asking another question. Is each developer will have staging area? What the answer? You have to tell, friends. I don't know the answer. You have to tell. Each developer will have staging area. Yes, staging area is the part of. So workspace staging area and local repository. That's why every developer having his own staging area. Yes, correct. Okay, next up. Sir, now observe. So all commits completed. I want to share my work to other peer developers. Have you remembered this diagram I covered? Okay, in the last session. Sir, all the work completed in my local repository. Okay, now I want to publish these changes sir, to the remote repository so that these things are available for others. These things are available for others. How you can save, okay, how you can send our local repository updates to remote repository. For that, which command is required? You have to tell. You are not kids. Which command we require to use? Git push. Okay, remember that. Git push is the command we require to use. So now whatever files are available in your local repository, will be updated to sir remote repository. Good. Now from the remote repository, your work is going to be shared by other developers so that multiple developers can work in collaborated way. Any doubt? Up to this is the clear, right? Git add, git commit, git push. Okay, well. Now my next requirement is, okay, well, observe very carefully, sir. Okay. Now my next requirement is assume this scenario is the very important, sir. Or otherwise, assume that in this diagram, okay, in this diagram, my total code is available where? Please confirm. In this diagram, my total code is available where? Remote repository. Correct or not? Remote repository. Correct, right? In this code, total code is available at remote repository. Okay. Now, listen. Here, two cases are going to come, sir. Two cases will come. Case number one. What is the first case is? Okay, case one. 1 minute before this, let me clarify. Sir, we covered git push. What it will do? Can you please confirm? Git push. What it will do, sir? Just now we covered to move files from local repository to move files from local repository to remote repository. Okay, well, now sir, here while coming back, sir, I want files from a remote repository to local repository. I want the files from a remote repository to local repository. Okay. Now take very, very special care about this. Yes. What that is? Which command we require to use? Sir, we can use, we can use either git clone, git clone. Okay, we can use either git clone or we can use git pull. Okay, like sir, which commands we require to use? Git clone or git pull. So to bring files from remote repository to local repository, we have to use git clone or git pull. Okay, like then immediately, very important question for the interview room. What is git clone and git pull? What is the difference between these two things? Yeah, you have to tell, friends. Yeah, don't think too much. Array, here clone. Have you observed, right? Clone. What is the meaning of cloning? What is the meaning of cloning, sir? Cloning. Clone means creating exactly duplicate copy. Creating exactly duplicate copy. Sir, I want to clone. Okay, I want to clone Katrina knife. If 10 Katrina knives are available, so then how we observed, right? Okay, I want to clone 10 Katrina knives or 10 Sunny Leonis or otherwise 10 Amitabh Bachchans. Like so, this is cloning. Cloning on the human beings is prohibited, sir. Don't we should not. Okay, on the animals we can do that cloning. Sir, clone. Creating exactly duplicate copy. Correct, right? Creating exactly duplicate copy. Okay, like now here, just observe very carefully from this diagram. Sir, today a new developer came. A new developer came, sir. Assume that a new developer came. Sir, he is the new developer, right? He want to copy this entire repository into his local. Correct or not? Can you please confirm? He want to create a new local repository with which is exactly copy of remote repository. Okay, if you want a complete copy of remote repository in your local repository, then we require to use clone. Remember carefully, right? Are you in the position to understand? Yes, friends. What is the meaning of git clone? Complete clone, exactly duplicate copy. Okay. Here to create a new local repository, by cloning remote repository. Okay, local repository, to create a new local repository from the remote repository. Okay, from the remote repository. repository. Okay, like that. So remember, so with the git pull file name should be no. Sir, here just aware this one to create a new local repository from the remote repository. If you want, then we require to use git clone. Any doubt? Please confirm. Everyone in the position to understand this one, sir. Okay. So if first time, sir, I want complete repository. First time, sir, then we require to use what? Git clone. Git clone. Remember this one. Okay, like sir, git pull means sir, already I'm the developer. Already I'm the developer, right? Okay, assume that. Okay, here already I'm the developer. Sir, I'm already working on some files. Okay. Sir, there are some other developers may be updated. I want those updates from remote repository to local repository. Sir, if any updates are available which are not there in my local repository, can you please bring those updates? If you want those updates, then we require to go for which concept is git pull. Only updates. We are not required to specify this file is required, that file is required. No. Sir, is there any difference between local repository, remote repository? Yes, boss. There are some updates are available. Please bring those updates. Okay, to our local repository. Okay, like now observe that. So to get updated files from remote repository to local repository. Okay, for that purpose we are going to use git pull. Wonderful, friends. Sir, this is this basic idea. If you are having in your mind, then you can play the games with git like anything. Clear, right? Are you in the position to understand this diagram? Any explanation is required about this? Clone is used only once first time. Ashutosh, correct. Clone is, we are always using only one. Bringing update means bringing all updated version. Yes, all updates which are available in the remote repository. Okay, Manish. Sir, best example. Still some people are having doubt about clone, about pull. Very simple, sir. Suppose assume that 3 files are there. A, B, and C, 3 files are there in the remote repository. Now this person cloned that. If a person cloned in his local repository, how many files will come? Please confirm. In his local repository, how many files will come? 3 files. A, B, C is coming. A, B, C is coming. Now he is working on these files. Assume that he is working on these files. Suddenly, sir, after this clone, now after some time, this developer created a file D. So he committed, okay, that he pushed that D file from, he added to the local repository, and from the local repository he push. Now D is coming because of this developer. Okay, like next, this developer, okay, sir, created a new file. He added that file to the local repository. Now he pushed that to this. Next, E also came. But this person having only ABC, but D and E files are not available. These are the newly added files. Sir, I want these complete updated files, complete new files, or if any file is updated here, these complete updates I want. Then is required to perform which operations are pull operation. Yeah. Manish, is it clear for you people, right? Yes, sir, what thing is going to be happen? Once we started practicals, there you people are going to get much clearly. Don't worry at all. So this is considered as Git architecture, friends. Okay, remember carefully. So in the Git architecture, mainly 4 areas are there: working directory, staging area, local repository, remote repository. Sir, if you want to send the files, any new file life is always going to start from the working directory. If you want to send any files to the local repository, you can't send directly. First we have to add to staging area, and then we can send, and then we can send. So how you can add files to the staging area from working directory? Git add is a command we have to use. Git add will send the files from working directory to staging area. Now, sir, from staging area, whatever changes are there in the staging area, I want to commit those changes to the local repository. Then we require to use git commit is the command. Remember, right? Okay. Next, local repository updates. I want to send to the remote repository. Then git push is the command we require to use. Sir, I want to create a new local repository, sir, which is exactly same as remote repository. Then we require to use git clone. It will create a new local repository which is exactly same copy of remote repository. Sir, I don't want, I have already local repository. I want only updates. Then we require to go for git pull. Okay, these are various important things like, okay, checkout operation separately I will discuss, because once we are cloning and pull, automatically what will happen, these files will be available to the working directory also. Okay, that's why checkout we will discuss as a separate command. Okay, don't worry. So if I add checkout here, you may get confusion. That's why ignore. Okay, these type of thing is these four things are by default considered Git architecture. Clear for all of you, right? So today we covered, sir, the most important things. Sir, why Git is very popular? What are various features of the Git? Features of Git. We covered the first one. Next one after that, Git architecture. Okay, like so in the next session, I have to talk about life cycle of the file, in Git. Sometimes we can use the word untracked, sometimes we can use the word modified, sometimes we can use the word staged. Like what is the meaning of that? We will discuss in detail in the next. After that, we have to go for Git installation and start working the things. Clear, right? Now slowly we are entering into the Git so that you people can get much clarity, friends. Remember. Okay, that's all.